Hey, Motorman here with my tip of the week. Now, I've got to warn you, before we go any further, I'm going to be using the D word. Yeah, and I know that's going to hurt somebody's feelings. So if the D word, by the way, the D word is doofus. Now, my wife said I shouldn't even do this video, but who listens to their wife? But I will be using the D word, and I'm going to show you some of the things that, well, you know, like the story there about you might be a redneck if, well, you might be a doofus if you do the things I'm going to show you in this video. So if that's going to offend you, if humor offends you, stop right now. Remember, I warned you. What we have here is your average 24-foot wide side street. If you can't make a U-turn on a 24-foot wide side street, you might be a doofus, especially if you got a passenger on board. What the doofus rider does, starts duck walking the bike, looking at the opposite side of the street, gets closer and closer till finally he realizes he can't make it. So what happens now? He's got to back up the bike. Well, if it's slightly uphill, it's kind of tough to do. Now he's got to get the wife off the motorcycle and have her push. She doesn't like that. And the both of them start pushing. He's still holding the brake. Finally, the doofus releases the brake, pushes the bike backwards, duck walking it backwards, which is not easy to do. And now he's going to have to duck walk it forward and can't let the wife back on yet because he won't be able to make that turn with her on the bike. So he duck walks the bike until it's pointed straight ahead. And then he gives the wife permission to get back on the motorcycle. She's asking, "Are you sure?" Yeah, he's sure now. And of course, he's got to take off really slow, duck walking it and dragging his feet. I've seen this a million times. Now, on the other hand, if you've had some training, if you know how to use your head and eyes, the friction zone, little pressure on the rear brake, this is what it should look like. How hard is that? The bike turns in less than 18 feet, so your average street should be a breeze. You got the bike turns at 18 feet, streets 24 feet. You got 6 feet to screw this up and still make it, as long as you know a little bit of technique. Just 3 of them: head and eyes, friction zone, little pressure on the rear brake. It's not brain surgery. Please don't be a doofus. Now watch this closely, because you're going to see a little bitty 125-pound woman do the exact same U-turn without duck walking it, without putting her feet down. Watch it quickly, because it's going to happen fast. That's a 900-pound motorcycle she's on. Turns her head and eyes, uses the friction zone. Round comes the motorcycle, no problem. Now check this out. How many times have you seen people doing this? I've seen it a million times. I feel sorry for these people. But you got a 12-foot lane. You got two 12-foot lanes. You got a total of 36 feet. And a rider looks at the side of the road, and of course that's where the rider goes. This, folks, this is what a doofus looks like. Now we'll show you the correct way of doing this, the easy way, using technique. And remember, these techniques are the opposite of your instincts, but it just takes a couple of hours to figure them out. Now watch this turn. This is what it should look like, from your lane to that first left lane. Just to show you that this isn't brain surgery, we're not docking the Queen Mary here. We're just turning a motorcycle. Little girls can do it. And I know somebody out there is going to say, "But she's a woman, she's not a girl." Well, to me, she's a little girl. Little 125-pound girl whips that bike around with the ease of a child's toy. Now watch this turn. Again, nothing to it if you know the proper techniques. This is what it looks like when you actually know what the hell you're doing. These techniques will save your life out on the road. No question about it. Now you would think a simple turn to the right from a stop would be easy. Well, I've seen stuff like this. I can't tell you how many times. Duck walking, looking in all the wrong places, crossing the imaginary center line. Don't do this, folks. It's a simple thing to turn your head to the extreme right, use the friction zone, little pressure on the rear brake until the bike is going straight. And here it is done properly. Turning the head to the right, nowhere near the center of the road. Here's a clip I just had to show you. Watch this guy on the right on the green bike. I believe he must be the president of the Foot Draggers Riding Club of America. Watch this guy. This is foot dragging extraordinaire. He never stops. This, by the way, is from Sturgis 2020. In fact, I'll put a link to it down below because I didn't ask the guy permission, but just showing you a small clip of this to give you an idea what so-called experienced riders do. You got to keep watching this guy because he never stops. I don't know where he's from, but here in Sturgis, if he's from California, I'm going to bet he's going to drag his feet all the way back to California. It never stops. The guy obviously has no clue how to use that rear brake to help him at low speeds, how to use the friction zone. And of course, he's not wearing a helmet. He's got his wife on the back. She's not wearing a helmet or any protective gear. And on a bike like this with this rider, that guy needs it really bad. We're going to catch up to him again. Don't worry. He'll still be dragging his feet. It never ends. Now, I guess in Sturgis, they have a light just about every block. But in between the lights, come on. The bike is in motion. Put your feet up on the pegs or the floorboards. You paid for those pegs and floorboards. Why not use them? And you see all kinds of riders. Riders right here, the two in front, they're doing the same thing. Don't be like this, folks. Don't do this kind of stuff. It makes you look like, well, a doofus. Here he goes. He's probably going 40 miles an hour. He's still dragging his feet. Unbelievable. And I bet he thinks he's a great rider. I guarantee it. And now for the doofus of the year. Watch this genius. Some people call him the wheelie master. Watch closely now. It's coming. So, how's that for fun? If your riding looks anything like what I depicted in here, and believe me, these were not exaggerations. If your riding looks anything like that, I mean, come on, you need some training. You spent $25,000 on a motorcycle and not a penny learning how to ride it. That's crazy. Riding is so much more fun if you actually know what the hell you're doing. It just takes a few hours to get this. We've got the Ride Like a Pro video. It's going to show you all the 3 techniques: head and eyes, friction zone, little pressure on the rear brake. We got surviving the mean streets. That's going to show you why you did particular exercises, because we go right out onto the street with this. We also have Ride Like a Pro on the tail of the Dragon. That's going to show you these techniques used at high speeds on a winding mountain road. And for somebody who knows absolutely nothing about riding a motorcycle, you haven't even been to the beginner's course, we got Learn to Ride the Easy Way. There's no excuse for it. There's no reason for you to be duck walking your bike and dragging your feet and making great big wide turns. It's dangerous and you look foolish. You look, come on, like a doofus. Let's face it. Now, I hope you enjoyed this. And as I said, I gave you the warning. If you're insulted or you don't like humor, well, it's too late now. And if you're going to leave a comment to that effect on here, I have something to say to you.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
Okay, with that, in closing, please subscribe. Click the thumbs up. Now, I've got 1,200 and some odd videos on absolutely free here on YouTube. And remember, you've always got my money back guarantee. No?
Okay, I didn't do anything.
No, I got a license. That's why I'm saying it. Why do you always want to hit that button?
Because you said we're doing 2.
Okay. We're going to do more.
So that was 2.
No. I once asked a friend who is, just a horrible rider. This guy could only go straight. That's all he could do. And I said, why don't you get some training? And this is what he said. Not exactly this, but real close.
Dreams that you had you could you do you want you could do so you could you want him to do this.